Sometimes I feel really ashamed that I'm not reading books. There are people that actually read a book a day. Funny enough, usually girls do that other than guys. And it's always like, oh, there's knowledge in the books, or that the books make you smarter. And to some extent, I actually agree with it, but it also depends on what type of book you're reading. I mean, even if you're reading like fantasy book or something, if you don't know the cliches, and these are not the cliches for you. But honestly, reading books is a hobby other than something that everyone has to do. I mean, like, yeah, the ability to read and write is actually OP, even in today's world. But reading books is not a necessity in modern era. And I've been actually trying to get into this hobby in the past a couple of times. I can't even count them. But before you ask, yeah, I've read every single diary of Wimpy Kid. So this begs a question, like, maybe it's not actually reading the books that's the issue, but reading just boring books. And there was one book that I actually read opinions about, and people said like, it's just another fantasy book and it has some good moments and whatnot. It's like this saying goes like, you shouldn't buy the book by its cover, but the cover was just so sick. I just could not pass this book. But honestly, I loved it. I mean, like, didn't finish it, but the atmosphere of like the first chapters is straight out of fucking Dishonored, which is just another game that I love. And it's not necessarily Dishonored like, but it just felt like playing the game again. I can't really tell you why, it's just my personal opinion and feelings. But yeah, I don't really know why I haven't finished the book. I mean, the main issue was that I was reading like 10 fucking pages an hour. To me, it was like such an abysmal rate that I just got bored of sitting there and literally not even like overstimulated, but it was like I was reading a page and thought to myself, like, gosh, I'm reading so fucking slow. I was able to comprehend what I was reading. It's not that I have to reread the same fucking page 3 times. I'm not that fucked yet. But to be honest, it's like the slowness of it. Like, sometimes you have like fast video games. And to be honest, even this sometimes actually feels slow for me. And no, it's not ADHD that I'm like super fast or something. It's just that when you figure out the mechanics and master the game, everything is just like in slow motion because you know what you're doing, rather than falling in these chaotic fights and whatnot. But when it comes to reading books, it's like the pace is not determined by you, especially in the classic ones where you have fucking overcomplicated explanation of flower or something. And book readers love that shit, but sometimes it's like I love to explore worlds at my own pace, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. And books are not as interactive, so that's like another factor why I'm bored. It's not even like the imagination problem, it's just that I'm not really exploring them as me. It's like I'm going with the character's flow. One good example was the Cyberpunk book that I was also reading, because it's like the book is based on the places from the game, and I've been there, I've played Cyberpunk. So to be honest, reading that book was even better for me, because I could literally just put up the game and explore the places. Literally there's like a small percentage of books in which you can actually immerse yourself like that with a video game. And I'm looking in the other kind of media or something that is apparent in the other, where I should actually look for something different, because it's just another hobby. And if I don't have pleasure, and I don't mean that I don't have any pleasure, sometimes I actually do, but it's like a book actually has to captivate me really hard. But again, if I don't have as much pleasure from this hobby as from any other, then why should I bother with forcing myself to read books? Yeah, maybe I'm gonna be much dumber. But then let's talk about the other kinds of books that you can actually learn from, which are pretty much useless right now because you have everything on YouTube. And sometimes you might actually learn more by just fucking around rather than reading books, especially the self-improvement ones. Like, to be honest, I know these actually probably like help people because they have like basic fucking information about like the human connection or whatever, just some people don't know about. And it's kind of okay, but then you're doing the tricks that some like fucking 60-year-old was doing back in 90s, rather than something that actually could work right now. So the self-improvement books actually go obsolete really fast. But hey, to be honest, it's just another business, and people write these books just to make a quick buck again, rather than actually help people. Like, I remember when I was on the wave of self-improvement and bought the book Atomic Habits. It was like the first book I've read in years. I actually read it pretty fast and read it in its entirety. But to be honest, like the tactics in there, to be honest, whenever I was applying the tactics to my own life, I felt like a fucking lab rat. And you have shit in this book like, oh, you have to constantly remind yourself that bad habits are bad. And it's like, man. And there's literally nothing useful in this book other than the stuff that the guy was doing in his free fucking time, because he was already fucking millionaire, so he could actually fuck around with tactics or whatnot. And I'm broke. I don't have that kind of time to like to make fucking morning routines. Yeah, then you have like vile books like The Laws of Power or How to Win Friends. I actually bought How to Win Friends just out of curiosity because it was popular, and to be honest, it was so fucking shitty. I don't know if it was like the translation. I've read like halfway through it and really, it was fucking shitty and vile. With like tactics to just manipulate people into liking you rather than actually liking you. Which is something that everyone actually knows how to do anyway. It's just socially exhausting to play along the role that you're not fit into. So it's like you're not into parties, but you're playing fucking party boy. You're gonna get exhausted fast. And the book doesn't have any tactics on how to avoid this exhaustion anyway. So it's fucking useless because we all know that we can just like pretend that we're the cool people. Maybe these two books are actually the reason why I'm not reading right now anything, because I'm just totally demotivated. People were hyping these two books, but I'm out here just thinking that they suck. Especially autobiographies suck too. How am I supposed to read through fucking 300 pages of some dude's life? Literally gives me nothing. How the fuck reading a book about Elon Musk can help you solve anything in your life? I don't really know. And my mom saw me reading my fucking books and supposedly improving my life. So she bought me Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I never fucking opened that book. Mainly because the writer didn't know shit about being poor. Maybe he knew some fucking tactics that probably in like 98% couldn't apply in real life in 2026 because he's like way older. And back in the 80s, 90s, it was just easier to move money. So he's basically living off of rules made back in the day, and modern rules just don't apply to him. So he doesn't really know shit about how to help young people. And he was talking about like the good debt, like he's in debt to acquire assets. And I'm out here like, I can't even go in debt. I'm just too poor to even get like a fucking 10k loan. And you're telling me that you know how to financially free me. Shut up, man. But then it's like, I'm reading a book, yeah, I'm checking the marker of reading a book, but am I really getting knowledge or whatever? It's like when I'm reading, I don't feel as advertised. My brain is not throbbing, my eyes don't lit up, and I start to float. So it's like, am I doing something wrong? Then it just becomes entertainment. I can say like, hey, I read books, but I read entertainment books. So it's like, I'm perceived as a smart person. Why? All I'm doing is just playing video games, but in my fucking mind. It's literally the same fucking thing, I think. And I could like read books about fucking chemistry or something to gain some knowledge, but I don't fucking care about chemistry. And you might actually get like inspired to do something or whatever by reading the biographies or the self-improvement books, like, hey, as long as it works, right? This just didn't work for me. And as I said, sometimes I wish I could read books, but it's just another hobby. And I don't really think I need more of those. But on the other hand, it could actually replace the scrolling. But hey, Facebook stopped putting out shots for me. So I think the problem just solved itself. Because it's been like that for a week, and for a week I feel like I wasn't scrolling that much anyway. But yeah, maybe reading books could actually be a replacement. And I gotta finish that fantasy book that I was talking about previously. So anyway, have a nice day.